people. Today another set of Valentine nails that I'm calling Umbrella Love. This one has got thermal polish on some of them, which you just saw one. That was the cold. This is the warm. It gets light pink. And we're doing these on medium length stilettos. Starting off with the white base. Now I did have an issue with one thing, but we'll get to that later. And I am not going to put white on the ring finger or the thumbs, as those are going to have the thermal polish, which we're about to get to. And that's the Modelones thermal. It's supposed to be red and light pink, but you will see when it comes out of the lamp the color that it gets when it gets really hot. Okay, this is what it looks like as the red. And for some reason, every time I was polishing this on here, to me it looks like a strawberry. It looks like, you know, the strawberry with all the little seed dots on it, which gives me an idea for making some strawberry nails later on. And in we go to cure, and we're back out. Now see how light it got in the lamp? It's kind of a cream, sandy cream color. So that's not light pink, but still color change. Woohoo! I had so much fun when I had those thermal nails on last time, so I need to come up with something to do another set for myself. I wasted so much time playing around with those. Anyway, we're going over the second coat of white, and then we will be putting a second coat on thermals. You can see they're starting to cool off now, so that's starting to get a little pinker. And these will be cured, and then we'll be moving on. Alrighty, moving on. We got some stickers. I've got this sheet of Valentine stickers. This came in a set of Valentine stickers that I got from Amazon, I believe, last year. Possibly even the year before, I'm not sure. There were like 6 or 8 different sheets of, you know, different style Valentine stuff. But we're going to do these umbrella ones today. And I'm putting this on the middle finger. Originally I was going to have these on the ring fingers, but then since I did the thumbs with the thermal, I didn't want the middle finger also thermal. I like to, when I do accent stuff like that, I like to spread them out farther so they're not right next to each other or not real close. Now these stickers are super delicate. I did have some issues with a couple of them ripping. Moving on to the index finger, where I am going to use a love heart balloon thing. There, right there. We're going to use that on there. Now, in case you're wondering why these look so small, this set is sized out for a size small, so they're, you know, thin and smaller than normally I would be working on. Ideally, I should work on large sizes every time. That way I have a lot of real estate to play with, but being that I'm hoping to sell these things, I have to go in different sizes. So I have quite the inventory now of nail sets in whatever the size I made them in, and style, length, all that stuff. I like to have a big variety in hopes that people could find something they like in there. So far, not going so well, but I'm hanging in. Okay, we're also going to add a little kiss to the bottom of that one. Now I was using the silicone tool here to smooth them out in hopes to not get my fingerprints and stuff on there. And on the pinky, we're going to use this little umbrella that's folded up. Now here's the first problem I had. as I'm putting it on here, the little handle did not come off my tweezers. And now you're going to get to see me play this game with this stupid little handle piece because it was just like everywhere. It did not want to be on there. Boop, there it goes, over there now. Now I've got to try and pick it up, and it's just going to slide all over the place, and I'm not going to be able to get my tweezer under it. So I am going to try. I had to resort to using this to kind of hold it still so I could get the tweezer under it. And then we have to try and line it up so that it's on there where it's supposed to be. That was a whole nother thing. And if you think the drama's over, it's not. Okay, as I'm smoothing it out, I was trying to be careful, but look, it came right off of there again. This is the kind of stuff that just drives me insane when I'm working with things. So now I got to get it back off of here and get it back on there where it belongs. Now watch how it disappears. Nope, not yet. Here we go, I think. Boop. It flipped off of there right onto the front of my shirt. So now I'm back here trying to get it off of my shirt. Oh man. Some days, I swear. It's always the stupid little stuff like this too that gives me problems. Like the bigger stuff I can handle, but these little piddly things, man, that drives me crazy. Alright, we got it on there. Now I just have to get it lined up properly. Carefully. Okay, now don't touch it. Don't touch it anymore. No, I had to keep fooling with it. Okay, I'm just going to pat it down, and that's it. I'm not touching that one no more. Alright, and then I'm going to use, well, you can't see it. No, there we go. That red and white stripy one that doesn't have the handle, we're going to use that one on the top. And smoothing it down. Now these nails have a bigger C curve, so getting things to lay flat sometimes can be an issue. Now what I should have done at this point is done my top coat over these because they sat overnight and then some of them did pop up again. There's where we are so far. My polish is cooling off, so it is kind of a light pink now. But the rest of, I'll do the rest there off camera. Now here we go. Here's where the train got derailed off the track. I'm going to do some embossed hearts. Originally I was going to use white for this, but as I saw how pale that color got, the thermal got when it was really hot, I decided they weren't going to show up very well, so I decided to do red instead. Now, I'll let you guys see if you can figure out where I've gone wrong. I actually feel like I can hear a couple of you yelling at the screen right now, knowing already where I've gone wrong. This is totally a case of me being on autopilot and just going along doing things I know needed to be done. So we'll get to the problem after a while, but if you haven't spotted it. But this is the easiest way I have found to do hearts. When I try to freehand paint them on, I can never get the two roundy bits at the top to be even. Always one is either bigger or smaller, and then when you try to even them out, it creates another mess because then you got to keep going back and forth, and it's a pain. So I found this to be the easiest method. Just putting a couple of dots next to each other. And then we will get the detailer brush and just draw them down into the point. And now you can make the point on these however you want. You can leave it like as is, like that. You could give them kind of a longer tail at the point, as you've seen some hearts that look like that. And I'm trying to get my sides to be even now. And that one I wanted to make the little bit pointier part at the end, so then I had to go back and do it on this one. And then I will, as I go, I'll be doing that on all of them. And trying to get my sides to be even. And then on to this last one on here. Okay, and once you're happy with how they look, don't cure them yet. We're going to do the embossing now. And I'm using clear acrylic powder. Ta-da! Now this is the first time I think I've done embossing with gel paint. And usually I just use whatever polish I'm going to use. So I started off just trying to scoop this on here, because actually it's neater and cleaner to do it this way. But I'm not getting enough stuff on my scoop at once. It was going to take forever. So I quickly decided, nope, I'm going back to my pouring method. But we're going to gently pour this over top of it. Now, being that this is gel paint, it took a lot more acrylic to get these to not be shiny, for it to soak in and get them to look matte. And even still, the finished ones, I can still see some shiny on them. This stuff, either it's just not soaking in that fast because the gel paint's thicker, or I don't know. But it really took a lot to get these. And with the polish, I can usually do 1 or 2 times in them, I'm good. But this just would not soak in enough. So I'm going to keep pouring on more and more until I'm fairly happy with it. And then we'll let it sit. Be careful if you do it this way, you don't bump the edge of the jar against your polished part. I've done that before and there's no recovery from that. You just got to wipe it off and start again. Okay, we're going to go on to the ring finger. I'm just going to do this one, and then the others I'll do off camera. Now, being that this is a smaller nail, I'm trying to make my hearts a little bit smaller. Not too much, though. And then we'll just finish them off with the detailer brush. Have you guys figured out where I went wrong yet? I almost feel like I can hear some of you guys yelling at the screen that have figured it out. This is one of those instances where I created extra work for myself unnecessarily because I wasn't fully paying attention. Like I said, I get on autopilot sometimes and I just go. I know the things I need to accomplish and I just start on them. They may not always come out in the right order, which then creates more work for me. But it's a case of you guys can see me make the mistakes so you don't have to. It's kind of the theme for my whole YouTube channel because I do make a lot of mistakes. But on the other hand, you guys get to see how I fix them, so then you know what to do in case you get in that same boat. Although hopefully you can see the stuff, the dumb stuff I do, so you can avoid that yourself. All right, I think we're ready to emboss these. Well, I thought I sped this section up. Apparently I did not. Now with this one, I was able, since those were all kind of in a line, I was able to pour some on there and just kind of let it sit there for a bit. I probably could have let it sit on there longer. Also, if you're going to use this method, be careful because you see all that acrylic powder that's getting on my gloves and down there on that lid and everything. That stuff is really slick and slippery when it gets on there. And I did manage to drop the lid once as I was pouring it back into the jar and created a mess all over my desk again. I won't make you sit through that, but typical. Okay, now I've gone back to the thumbnail because they were looking shiny again, so we're going to add some more to them. And it just keeps on sucking up more of it. Now once I'm done with these, and I am going to go over that other finger again too with some more. Once I'm done with these, they're going to go into cure for 2 minutes so that the embossed stuff gets fully cured. Okay, moving on. We are going to add, these looked unfinished to me. I did not want to add crystals or embellishments to this. So what I decided on was just to outline the nail in red. The white nails, I should say, outline them in red. Which in some of my pictures you can't see that very well. Because the ones that I took on the practice hand, you have to shove them up under the cuticle area so they stay on there. So then the red part got, you can't see it at the top. So that's always a bummer. And also the bigger picture that I shot, the flat picture, I shot it on, well, I did two. I did one on a red surface and one on white. And the ones on the red surface, you can't really see these red outlines either because it blends in with the background. But anyway, I'm just going to continue on. I will smooth these out here in a bit. I really don't like working with red. Not only do I just not like red as a color, it's a pain to work with for me because especially if you're working on top of white like that, because if you screw anything up and you've got to wipe stuff off, oftentimes the red will stain. It doesn't want to fully come off, at least for me. Now we're going to smooth these out, hopefully not make it worse. That's one thing I hate when you've got something and you're trying to do, a nice smooth edge to it or something, and you screw up one spot, so then you start making it a little wider to fix that screw up, and then next thing you know, you bump another one, and then you've got to do it again. It gets wider still, and it just keeps growing. I hate that. Oops. Oh. And that's got to be cleaned off now. Okay, fairly happy with that except for that bottom bit that I messed up. Now I started off trying to clean this off with just my detailer brush with some alcohol. And I started to get it okay. Now I didn't re-wipe it before I took another swipe at it on one of these, so then I'm going to get more of a mess going. Now right there I should have just probably left it alone, but of course I couldn't do that. I wanted a little more, and I see I didn't wipe my brush again. Now we're going to have, see, now it's creating another mess. And we we've rinsed it off, and let's see what we get. Nope, still messy. All right, so now I've got a lint-free wipe with some alcohol. I'm just going to gently try to clean that up without making it worse. And okay, I think we're good on that one. Moving on. Now, I think I did, yeah, this part I've now sped up the rest of this with these outlines. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm trying to do like lines like this or thin lines or just something where I need a smooth edge, if I try to go really slow, it seems like a lot shakier and more wobbly. When I go quickly, it just seems to give me a smoother line. But that's hard to do when you're not super sure, you know, you're not super sure that it's gonna, you don't want to go too fast and screw it up is what I'm trying to say. And now I got a little bit of stuff. That's just a piece of the nail tip where I filed it during the prep process. That didn't get off of there. Oh, I did it again. Sometimes when I'm watching these back, as you know, as I'm doing the voiceover and stuff, I see all the dumb stuff I've done. It just aggravates me. And now we gotta smooth this out because it's kind of waggly looking. And this is a case of now my line's getting thicker and thicker because I can't get a nice smooth edge on it. And doing these little stiletto tips with this outline proved to be a bigger pain in the neck than I thought it was going to be. Alright, moving on to the pinky nail. This is the last one, then I'll do the rest off camera. While I got a second, oh, I forgot to tell you that these took me an hour and 15 minutes to do this whole set. A welcome to the new subscribers I've picked up recently. I'm excited for that. I'm closing in on having 200, you guys. I can't even believe it. I was so excited when I hit 100, and now I'm almost up to 200. I'm going to have to throw myself a party if I make 200. For little old me that just started off doing this as a hobby, and then I had people requesting tutorials. So I reluctantly started doing them, and now I really enjoy doing them. Now we've got a mess on the tip of that one again. You can see by the umbrella that's there at the end of this one that I had issues with that one too. That one broke on me too, but not at the handle. It broke off the tip of the bottom part this time. So it's a little crooked now, but that's okay. And just gonna get that off. I had a hard time getting this one to stay on the nail stand too. Okay, those are all ready for curing, and in they go. And now we've got them back. We're going to clean off the those thermal ones with the embossing. We're going to clean off the loose powder that's still on there. There goes the pinky nail. Okay. And now we are ready for, guess what? And you've now probably figured out by now where we went wrong, or where I went wrong. It's now time for top coat. And this is where I was realizing, oh crap, I didn't top coat these first, and I've already embossed my hearts on there. Now it's going to be a pain. Okay, this is the next day, so that's why I don't have gloves on, in case you're wondering. So now I get to play, let's try to top coat around all these embossed hearts now, because now I got to go in here with my detailer brush, making it more difficult and time consuming than it needed to be for me to finish this. These should have been top coated after the stickers went on. I should have top coated all of them, or actually before once the outlines were on, the stickers were on, then I should have top coated before doing this step. So yeah. We get there in the end, but it was a roundabout path to get here. And you can also notice too that the hearts don't totally look matte either. They still look slightly shiny. They could have used some more powder on them, I think. And this will be you guys' last look at my winter nail set, because next week I'll be doing my own nails again for Valentine set, the last one of the season. Frankly, I'm going to be glad to see this set go, because I've been getting caught on everything and it's been kind of a royal pain in the neck. But that's the price I pay for having my nail art. Okay, this is the final step, guys. We're almost there. Alright, now top coat's going on over the rest of them. Now I did have a little issue with some of these stickers, wanted to pop up a little bit. As I said, they sat overnight, and when they do that, they seem to want to pop up. I don't know why. Just sitting there like that makes that happen, but just giving them a quick top coat. This one had a couple issues too. I'm using the silicone tool to kind of smooth out some of the places where it wanted to stick up. And I also go in 2 different directions so I can get all the edges down good. And there's the finished set. We made it in the end. Okay, if you like this set, I'd really appreciate a like. And if you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I upload a new tutorial every Saturday. And here we are with the finished shot. Those are the ones you can hardly see the outline. But anyway, how me trying to get fancy for you. Okay, that's it. I got nothing else for this week. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.